Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another video. Now I'm probably going to post this video over on X as well as YouTube. I do normally just post these updates daily on YouTube, but I want you guys to see a bit of a zoomed out perspective from myself about the markets in general. So I'll probably post it on both. I'll try and keep this short. Basically, I think crypto is about to really take another leg higher, probably substantially. Bitcoin, I feel, is going to break all-time high. Exactly when is the difficult part of that conversation, because normally when we have a wick down like this, we do normally have a back test, either creating a lower low with a higher low on the RSI, creating a bullish divergence, or a back test into a key area, so maybe like the 52 level, or maybe this is deep enough in the 56, 57, but also sometimes accompanied by negative news, but not being able to create a lower low. So they're the two things that I'm watching for. They're common structures on bottoms anyway. But why do I think that? Well, let's have a look at gold. Gold is an asset that people use to hedge against weakness in the dollar, essentially. And crypto or Bitcoin is obviously often described as digital gold. So people say that it could be risk on or risk off, sorry, in that sense. You're hiding away from risk of the stock market, for example. So gold's actually yesterday closed the highest ever daily close at $2,470. If we then look at risk on, which is another place that capital can go to, like capital can go to, as in dollars can be spent where dollars can be spent. The S&P, let's get rid of these drawings to make it easy. Get rid of this at the bottom so we can see more what we're talking about. The S&P is having quite a sharp recovery out of the drop that we had due to the yen carry trade unraveling, and is continuing towards all-time highs. In fact, all-time high now is only 5% away again. So we have had expansion in equities this year, and we're about to see, and we are seeing, an uptick in global liquidity. So whether you think that crypto acts like a stock or is risk on, well, risk on's going up, or acts like risk off like gold and is a safe haven, well, gold's going up. And then you can say, oh well, crypto is not going to go up because of whatever narrative like that you might come up with, that you're looking at short-term price action, whatever narrative that might be. Yeah, we've topped because this and this. But the positives to crypto this cycle compared to last cycle are much larger. There's much more demand for the same amount of supply, or slightly more supply. So demand from institutions legally this cycle. We've got talk of sovereign wealth. We've got talk of the US even embracing it on one side of the political spectrum. And I presume soon the other side too, because as we get closer to election, both sides are going to want as many votes as they can. So I don't really think there's a long-term argument to say that unless something's lying, like gold or equities or liquidity are lying in some aspect, and we have a complete financial collapse in one way or another, which is possible, I don't think there's an argument to say that crypto is not going to expand. So that's my base case. That's what I think. So don't get shaken out in the short-term price section. I've just shown you charts that represent both sides of that spectrum. Don't get shaken out in the short-term price action. As to what exactly happens next, well, I'm going to look at total 2 market cap right now, which is basically crypto without Bitcoin. And as you can see, we had almost a perfect Wyckoff accumulation. Let me just see if I can line this up again. We had almost a perfect Wyckoff accumulation breakout, and we've back tested that sign of strength, and we're now currently holding above that sign of strength. So this is where the sign of strength was. If I just show you that chart again, look, this is the sign of strength here. Breakout, back test, holding it, back test. The last point of support, holding above that sign of strength again as of right now. Now, I personally do, as I said, expect that we'll continue from here. Alts are playing a bit of a dangerous game right now, and I highlighted Solana a few times. Look at the state of Solana. I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, like, look at the state of it as in how it's holding that key level of support. It's a weak level of support, but it's holding it pretty well. I think it's only a matter of time until alts break out, unless we are going to have that pullback that I talked about for Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that's necessarily going to happen. If we do have that pullback for Bitcoin, I would expect something like Solana to pull back into this sort of grey box area if we don't set a lower low, depending on what Bitcoin does, but potentially pulls into that grey box, because people are going to have their stops below, like if they're leverage trading or even trading spot, and they'll have stop losses below this level here, below this level here, and below this level here, and probably push you into this box. So that might cascade a sell into that. So you might get like an aggressive wick down into this area or an aggressive flush into that area if we do get that push down that I'm talking about in crypto. However, if we look at Bitcoin specifically, open interest has just been bleeding out since even since our recovery. We're just bleeding out in open interest. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin again. The chart is a bit messy and I apologize for that, but I'm just trying to show you like my base case argument for crypto in general. Open interest has been bleeding out. Even as we bounced, open interest is still like almost as low as it was right at the bottom of the bounce there. So there is an argument to say that the sell-off and the flush out may be done. It's only structurally that I would like to see something larger, not larger as in like a lower low, but just structurally we do sometimes see that. And if we look at trading difference liquidity pools, we can actually see there's a lot of liquidity below the last wick for Bitcoin. I'm just going to take it onto daily and show you what I'm seeing there. Saying, look, this area here is possible. There's people longing from this area here. So is it possible we touch this area? Maybe. But as you can see, the open interest is just bleeding out. It's been bleeding out for a while. So that's my thought process. Short term, could we have a wick down into that area? I don't know. I personally have cash on the side in case. I've got large spot bags. If we do go up, lovely. And I have a short term trade on today that I opened. By the way, if you want to have a look at my trades, go and join my free Telegram group. The link in bio, and I'll put a link below this video. Please go and join that. Actually, it helps me out a lot. Yeah, I'll leave that to that. But yeah, look at above us. There's also a lot of leverage opening up above us. These are short positions, and they will get liquidated. That's just what normally happens. We should see this get liquidated. So if we, depending on if we wick into here or not, I don't know. But the next step is then to start taking this area. And once we break above all-time highs and start expanding again, that's when price action gets really good for altcoins historically. Then there's a secondary argument of, will Bitcoin suck in liquidity when it starts to move? Again, looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, I personally don't think so. And I actually disagree with Cred in this, Credible Crypto that is, in this argument. I've drawn out this grey box for a long time. In fact, even here, where's this? In April 2024, so in April of this year, I was saying we didn't quite make my target in terms of Bitcoin dominance. Now we've hit Bitcoin, the target area that I had for Bitcoin dominance. It's coincided with the middle of this ascending parallel channel. We've banged into it again. Let's see what happens next. But on the expansion period after all-time highs in 2017 and also 2021, alts massively outperform percentage-wise. Whether we have a short, sharp spurt where Bitcoin sucks in liquidity, pushes itself up to $150,000 or above, I don't know. I do believe that we see up towards $200,000 top for Bitcoin this year, but I think it's most likely that once we expand above all-time high, everything goes together, and alts probably take a good share of that market. That being said, at the minute, ETH is looking a little bit scary, but as we just showed you, total 2, which includes ETH, it looks like we're just back testing support. Could ETH come down and retest these lows? Yes, potentially, but again, depending on Bitcoin. XRP is a little bit different. Genuinely, I do believe that right now, and I have bias towards XRP because I'm a big bag holder and I cover it a lot. And because I'm a bag holder, I have positive bias on that. But we've been talking about this wave count for a while. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, complex ABC correction here. And the start of a potential wave 3 of a larger 5-wave pattern, which looks like this. If we just take you to the 4-hourly, it looks like something like this. We could go up to say like 120, 130 with this next wave. That would be brilliant. 4 down to like 180, the top of the previous range. 5 up to 170, which would be wave 1 of a larger pattern. But looking back in again at the shorter term time frame, could we have completed the first wave of our wave 3 with the result from the Ripple versus SEC case, an ABC correction taking us down to where we are now, or potentially a little lower into that 51-cent region? I don't know. But has that completed now, and are we about to start that wave 3? I think alts are all saying something pretty similar. XRP specifically looks a little bit different because I think it's kind of led the last like little push. You're seeing other alts like CRV start to push up, curve that is curved out. They're starting to push up. We're seeing some strength in tokens like that, like 20-30% moves, and that normally tells me that people are looking to alts. Alts are about to take that move. So I think as soon as one or two break this key resistance level that we're literally teetering with, we're going to see an explosion to the upside if we don't see that flush out in Bitcoin. What could cause that flush out in Bitcoin? Maybe more war narrative out the Middle East, some sort of TradFi player coming to the surface from the Japanese yen carry trade. Otherwise, I think we're looking for a catalyst to take us the other way, and that catalyst could just be price action. As I've said, we've seen the S&P continue to bounce after the Japanese yen unraveling and gold set an all-time high. So I think it's only a matter of time until we find an upside move here for crypto. And just to finish off this video, I'm going to talk about XRP against Bitcoin and XRP against ETH because I've covered them over on X. I've made some charts about them. And I think we've got an inverse head and shoulders forming here against Bitcoin in the short-term time frame above in a previous support level, inverse head and shoulders, but we need to close with this 0.993 level. And let me just take you out to the daily so I can show you what could come next for XRP. I'll put it in range, my bad. 1 day is what I'm looking for. We are literally pushing up against these resistance levels that can create much larger candles here for XRP. If you look on the weekly time frame, when we break out of these key resistance levels are where we get these big green candles and outperformance for XRP specifically. Here, very clear. Here, very clear. We get above those resistance levels. Again, we struggle on the bottom of this range, but as soon as we get that break, boom, we're away. Here, we get the break, boom, we're away. Here, we get the break, we struggle, we come back down, we get the break, boom, we're away. That is what we're looking for here with XRP. That's what all these years of hard price action come down to, a few weeks of massive outperformance like that. The same here with ETH. This is ETH on the weekly. It's looking much better against ETH on the weekly. Look, we've taken a lot of this percentage back from ETH. I said once we close above this white line down here, we'd start to see bigger candles. We've started to get that, and now we're really looking for those explosive candles that could take us all the way up to these sorts of levels here, or maybe even engulfing ETH's market cap, which I know a lot of people are going to think I'm absolute psychopath for talking about, but it is possible. It happened in the 2017 cycle twice. It's possible it happens again. It would be a 1600, so 16x against ETH from this point. If you don't think that's possible, then you aren't looking at the mathematics and you aren't looking at price action. You're acting emotionally. It is possible. So have these things in mind when you're looking at price action. Have these things in mind. It's interesting that, for example, this is happening with XRP, and there's potential of this sort of thing happening now. As I've talked about, the alts probably take the lead or could take the lead with Bitcoin's next stage. So keep these sorts of things in mind. It doesn't mean they're going to happen straight away. I am bullish on crypto. There's nothing else to say. Apart from that, I am bullish. I've said that short term there could be some structural price action happening, but after that we're going to see things get a bit sendy, especially when Bitcoin starts to expand and break all-time high, which I think is inevitable unless we have a complete financial catastrophe, and then everything's probably pretty screwed anyway, including currency. So it's going to be difficult to know where to put anything if we even have the opportunity. So let's see. I'm not in that camp right now though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoy the video, please share. And I've just spat on my screen, lovely. Please share with a friend and let me know if you have any questions down below. Peace up. A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.